I know. I feel like I meant to get one on the way, but we were like just 5 minutes too late. Well, I mean, I'm not committed to it.
That seems cool. It's kind of a ballad or whatever. welcome. Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. Special guest, Linh Song, inspirational faculty and staff of the School of Social Work, family and friends, and most importantly, accomplished MSW graduates, welcome to the Winter 2023 University of Michigan School of Social Work's commencement exercises. My name is Beth Angel, and I am the Dean of the School of Social Work. We'll begin. Thank you. We'll begin today's ceremony with an important land acknowledgement. In this region, a land acknowledgement is a formal statement that recognizes and respects the North American Indian people as traditional stewards of this land. It also acknowledges the enduring relationship that exists between Native people and their traditional territories. Land acknowledgements may mean different things to people, and this is also true for different tribal communities. Some say that these acknowledgements address invisibility, they combat erasure, and they set an intention to act in a good way as we build affinities and form alliances. Our recognition is intended as an expression of gratitude and appreciation to those whose territory we reside on, as well as a commitment to how we intend to exist on this land. It is a way of honoring those that came before us and those that will come after us. Today, MSW graduate Heather Surratt will be reaffirming our commitment to the land on which we currently stand, the land of the Nishwe, Ishkedawen, Anishinaabe.
Bushu the Ninewe Maganadut, Nagijagat and Dijnakas, Waganaksing Odawa, Minwa, Onyataga, Wabajeshi Dodem. I welcome you all today here at our graduation. My name is Heather Surratt. I am from the Oneida First Nation, as well as the Little Traverse Bay Band Odawa. My people are two of the original people that come from this land. My presence here today is an example of our resilience, an example of our still here. Land acknowledgements are only words. The acknowledgement of actions is more important. So that is the message I leave with you today. Chimigwech. The University of Michigan is located on the Huron watershed on land stewarded by Niswe Ishkoden, Ushkodewan, Anishinaabe, the three Fires people who are the Ojibwe, the Odawa, Potawatomi. As we work, live, and learn on these territories, we must keep in mind the ongoing effects of colonization, the community's struggle for self-determination, colonial state, violence, and the recognition of indigenous sovereignty. Through scholarship and pedagogy, we work to create a future in which the past is thoroughly understood and the present aims to enhance social justice while enacting an ethic of care and compassion. Miigwech, Wamapi.
Thank you very much, Heather. This is such a celebratory day. The excellence of our school is rooted in the dedicated faculty, devoted staff, and talented and committed student body. Today's commencement is particularly special as we are recognizing just our second class of graduates from our online MSW program. Whether you're here in Hill today or participating online, I'm so thrilled to celebrate with you, our graduates, and with your families, friends, and special guests. MSW graduates, you are an impressive class. 25 of you are graduating today with your Master of Social Work degree as part of our online MSW program. It's okay to clap. 131 of you are graduating today with your Master of Social Work degree from our on-campus MSW program. 6 of you are graduating with a dual degree, combining the MSW with other disciplines, including public health and public policy. You include graduates who came to us with Bachelor of Social Work degrees and a wide variety of other degrees from many fine public and private universities and colleges in the state of Michigan, as well as universities across the United States and the world, including California, Colorado, New York, Texas, Canada, China, India, and Taiwan, to name a few. Graduates, you represent the diverse areas of study within the school. 112 of you graduate as interpersonal practice majors, 9 as community change-focused students, 13 as children and families specialists, 4 as older adult and families specialists, 6 with a focus in management and leadership, 7 as global social workers, 3 with a focus in policy and political social work, and 2 as program evaluation and applied research specialists. Collectively, the thousands of hours you spent learning in field education established your competency as social workers, and in the process, you provided vital and innovative services to Michigan communities and beyond. Here are just a few examples of your contributions to the betterment of society during a time when social work services are needed more than ever. Our graduates have honed their clinical skills and have provided compassionate care around grief and loss for patients and families in hospice settings. Our graduates have assisted in the creation of a support group for South Asian community members to help them share their unique cultural experiences and challenges and support one another. Our graduates have assisted CEW to revamp the onboarding process for their organization to include a strong focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Our graduates provided consultation services and utilized trauma-informed training and psychological recovery skills for MSU students following campus trauma. Our graduates presented at the Daniel J. Fisher Social Justice Grand Rounds at Michigan Medicine on issues including eating disorders disparities in diagnosis and treatment, and bias related to newborn screening and drug testing. Our graduates practiced in the area of sport social work to help youth find resilience, regulate their emotions, and increase their coping skills, grow social supports, and enhance socio-emotional learning. And our graduates worked to support the mental health of Haitian migrants who had relocated to Santiago, Chile. Class of 2023, you reached out, you raised hope, you changed society. Graduates, you come from every walk of life and from diverse locations and backgrounds. You come together for a common purpose, to be a social worker who will transform lives and society, making our world a better place. Please join me in recognizing the contributions and accomplishments of these graduates. At this time, I would also like to acknowledge and thank our superb faculty for their commitment to our exceptional students. I know the faculty joins me in sharing our best wishes for the graduates with hope that the future holds great promise for each and every one of them. Would faculty members please stand and accept our appreciation for the excellent education they have provided to today's graduates. Faculty, please be seated. And now, graduates, I would like to take a moment to personally congratulate you. As students, you have honed the skills that are so crucial to the work that we do. You've learned to listen and empathize, collect and analyze information and apply evidence to solve problems, recognize and respect different identities and experiences, advocate for individuals, communities, and social change, and catalyze organizational and policy change to be more responsive to human needs. I can't wait to see how you apply all of these skills to impact the world, and I know you must be very eager to get started. But today, we pause to celebrate all that you've done and achieved to arrive at this moment in your lives. At last April's commencement ceremony, our speaker and alumnus, Jason Smith, made a point of reminding everyone to take note of and hold on to the feelings of this day, to bask in the gratification that comes with hard work, to savor the experiences and connections you've gathered during your time here, to anticipate the excitement of embarking on your social work career, and to relish the joy of celebrating with friends, families, and loved ones. That is what today is about. Creating a meaningful touchstone graduates and families can look back on in the years to come. You'll need that touchstone, graduates. These are tough times, and our profession is not an easy one. So it is critically important that we, as social workers, embrace joy when we find it and create spaces to recognize our shared humanity. Your work as a social worker will depend vitally on your capacity to see and harness shared humanity, based on a thorough understanding of the human condition and our network of very human relationships. Our compassion, leadership, and ability to work across differences are also foundational to any effort to change society for the better. This fall, in response to the terrible conflict in the Middle East that's still ongoing, we've seen how important it is that we can engage and enter into dialogue, even with profound emotional reactions and differences of perspective. Graduates, today also marks you joining the ranks of over 17,000 Michigan MSW alumni, and I am thrilled to be the first to welcome you to our alumni community and to our profession. You enter our field at the time when the need has never been greater. We're so excited to honor you and to celebrate together with your friends, your families, and your loved ones. We are so proud of your dedication and your commitment. I'm now delighted to introduce our keynote speaker, Linh Song. Lynn is a graduate of this program, and nearly 20 years ago, she sat where you're sitting now. Linh Song has worked in the nonprofit sector for over 20 years, supporting child advocacy, public schools, anti-trafficking within international adoption, and tech startups. Born and raised in the Midwest by Vietnamese refugee parents, she is her family's firstborn American and committed to addressing social, racial, and economic inequalities. She serves on Ann Arbor's City Council as co-chair for the Michigan Reproductive Rights for All, and is a board member for Jewish Family Services Ann Arbor, Michigan Municipal League Foundation, and the Skillman Foundation, so quite a few foundations on the boards. Lynn holds a bachelor's degree in political science and a master of social work from the University of Michigan. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Linh Song.
Good morning. Thank you, Dean Angel, for inviting me here today to speak with you all, and to share thanks to all the loved ones here to celebrate this class's achievements. I'm so honored to be here. Nearly 20 years ago, I stood before my own graduating class as a student commencement speaker. I admit to not remembering most of that speech. It lives on a hard drive many laptops ago. These were pre-cloud, pre-iPhone days. I do remember talking about the importance of critical theory in social work practice, probably name-dropping writers like Foucault, Said, and Audre Lorde in my eagerness to demonstrate my academic credibility and acuity, like I'm doing again. Their words ignited new ideas, new ways to observe the world, and how I could structure my future work. It was clear that my excitement over critical theory was a reflection of my own unlikely journey to the School of Social Work. Dean Angel, it might be a little too late to tell you this, but I was actually waitlisted into the program. And basically cyber-stalked a professor until she agreed to meet with me. So don't be alarmed. I did this in the geekiest way imaginable. I told Dr. Leslie Hollingsworth, I've read all of your papers on transracial adoption and adoption reform. I think my future is in academia. So I'm convinced that this conversation influenced my admittance to the MSW program because despite my volunteer work in the adoption world, my CV leaned more towards restaurant work as a waitress and line cook with stints at startups. I didn't have vocabulary like social justice, BIPOC, or equity, and the only social workers I knew were researchers I looked up, like Dr. Hollingsworth, and the ones I learned about as a nonprofit volunteer in the adoption community. As adoptions, especially international adoptions, were increasingly influenced by market demands, I discovered how social workers can actively create harm in communities. But there was potential for reflection and reform. I needed to learn more and find the activists who could work on that potential with me. I was in a fighting mood when I started the MSW program and walked the halls wearing a shirt from a favorite zinester that said, "Exoticize my fist." That definitely caught the attention of new activist friends. I'm fortunate in that my activist friends became supporters and colleagues. After graduation, I led an adoption reform and anti-trafficking agency that helped ratify the Hague Convention on Intercountry Adoption. I organized state attorney generals and federal agencies to indict and convict social workers committing adoption fraud. And I wrote memos to congressional representatives, participated in hearings, and insisted on being in conversations even when I wasn't welcomed. The work was intense and rewarding. Social work can be resistance to the status quo. The theoretical can be translated into new realities. With those new realities came new opportunities, because it turns out my future wasn't in academia or running adoption reform conferences. My future was in my neighborhood here in Ann Arbor. My thinking and efforts shifted from critical theory to theory of change. Social workers are system thinkers and problem solvers, and as the 2016 presidential race consumed our country, I realized it was time for me to transition from adoption advocate to neighborhood and city advocate. I led a successful protest against the university's plan to build a 24/7 bus maintenance center right next to public housing, and I ran for a seat as Ann Arbor District Library's trustee. Public libraries have been essential to my family's well-being and success in this country, where I learned English, American history, culture, literature, alongside my refugee parents. While democracy was under threat, my instinct was to think about the institutions I loved most, so I rallied neighbors to come to the polls for the presidential election and support my run for office. Since my first election in 2016 and later the 2020 election to Ann Arbor City Council, I've been part of a whirlwind of justice work, responding to George Floyd's murder with statements in support of Black Lives Matter, but more importantly, programmatic and budgetary priorities for unbiased training with fellow trustees and library management, and seeing to the learning opportunities with library patrons to match the energy on our streets. As ICE traveled up and down main transportation corridors deporting neighbors, residents organized protests at immigration courts and fundraised to help children while their parents were detained. When the anti-Muslim travel ban was announced, Ann Arborites protested at the airport. When children were separated from their parents while trying to immigrate to the US, a local interfaith organization asked me to speak on the diag as my refugee parents beamed with pride and my children held signs that declared, immigrants get the job done, and families belong together. Over the past 7 years, residents marched in support of climate action, reproductive rights, for gun control, and against war. I marched with my partner and children, explaining to my children that when we say names, it is a remembrance for those unjustly taken by violence. But it is never enough to shout in the wind. In 2018, I served on the executive committee for Promote the Vote, a statewide ballot initiative to increase access to absentee ballots. In 2022, I served as co-chair for Prop 3, the campaign to preserve reproductive rights in our state constitution. All of these responses were necessary and deliberate because the threats to our well-being were constant, from neighbors harassing and spitting on Asian American residents and business owners during the waves of anti-Asian hate, to bomb threats at our local Jewish child care centers. Children and teachers had to be evacuated to the library. To this day, every single Jewish institution in town has private security and contacts with the FBI and police. COVID ravaged our BIPOC communities on several orders of magnitude compared to white residents. And here we are now, with residents coming to City Council demanding housing, affordability, no more bike lanes, and now peace and protections against discrimination. So let's pause here, that's a lot. That's a lot of chaos for our communities to come through. None of us emerged unscathed, and our faith in government and neighbors were shaken. We're still recovering, and you might be wondering, is social work working? Are you sure you want to do this work? This field will test you, but I hope that you will testify to your own lived realities, your community's experiences, and fight back cynicism and defeatism. This work can sustain you because our commitment is grounded in love and compassion. This institution has given you tools, mentors, and peers to collaborate with and lean on decades from now. I look at you and I see organizers, therapists, politicians, professionals who believe in a collective action for a better tomorrow. I believe in you and your work so much that instead of giving you advice on how you can achieve your goals as a new graduate, like a true politician, I'm going to ask you to help me. Politicians are totally shameless. So one, please consider running for office. I never imagined myself where I am now. A former school board member and later minority speaker for our state legislature told me that women have to be asked an average 6 times before they say yes to running for office. Can you guess how many times men have to be asked? That's the thing, they already imagined themselves there, in the seats, and don't have to be asked. Social workers are ideal politicians because we are advocates informed by our clients and communities, not lobbyists or private interests. We come to this work naturally. Come to municipal and state legislature meetings, bring snacks because they tend to go kind of long, and turn to the person next to you and ask, what brings you here? Bring friends, support them if they give public comments because their voices will shake, but you can be there to echo their words. 2, please understand and change bureaucracy. The status quo is upheld by lack of political will on the part of electeds, indifference, and racism. Your criticisms of government and public service are not unfounded, but to effect change, you can offer solutions once you understand government processes. Here in Ann Arbor, municipal tax dollars stay within the community with the exception of funding we've allocated to county social services. We do not allocate funding to the federal government and its priorities. If you stay here, which I hope you do, you can follow a creative change to bureaucracy that I advocated for with city staff and U of M's Poverty Solution Center. We are launching the city and state's first guaranteed income program next month, funded by federal pandemic relief dollars. If the pilot is successful, then the challenge is to sustain this work long term. We can ask the state or federal government to fund a program that basically says we trust our vulnerable community members to know their own needs, that the intervention is cash, not bureaucratic barriers. This model has worked throughout the US and Canada, costing less in long-term social service programs, but more importantly, affords dignity to those making their way in the world as best as they can. 3, please reimagine the city, county, or state so that I have a fighting chance to convince you to stay in Michigan. Our governor established the Growing Michigan Together Council to encourage population growth here because we are facing harsh statistics, like the reality of losing 13.7% of our college graduates a year, while Ohio loses 12.2% of graduates a year to other states. Look, Columbus and Cleveland might have affordable housing and density, but I need to remind you that you are Michigan Wolverines. And you can tell the Buckeyes that we can do better. Can we not? 4, help me ask who is missing from the table. It can be at work, in your personal lives, in your neighborhood, and if you do run for office, like I hope you will, ask what is the plan to engage, invite, and make people comfortable to work together? What are the barriers to participation? Are we talking about access or real and perceived risks? I ask myself these questions all the time. If I hadn't, then I wouldn't have managed to help recruit the most diverse city council in our city's 200-year history. We have never had 4 BIPOC representatives before, and it was 15 years since we last had a Black council member, until last year's elections. Representation matters. That's how we rebuild faith in government and community. So those are my 4 asks. Run for office, change bureaucracy, imagine a better place for all here, and ask who is missing from the table. If these asks have no place in your plans, then please support those who do choose public service. Make social work work for you and your communities. I know you can uplift each other and embrace the adventures ahead of you. You are not alone. I'll be honest and say that it's been some time since I've quoted Foucault. So let me leave you with these words from Detroit writer and civil rights activist Grace Lee Boggs. We must have the courage to walk the talk, but we must also engage in the continuing dialogues that enable us to break free of old categories and create the new ideas that are necessary to address our realities. Because revolutions are made not to prove the correctness of ideas, but to begin anew. Thank you for sharing this day with an unlikely social worker turned politician. I look forward to voting for you. Go Blue.
Thank you, Lynn, for inspiring us with your story of being an unlikely social worker turned politician, and for these very powerful asks that I hope our graduates will heed. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our first student speaker, Sarah Al-Mukhtar. Sarah is an MSW candidate in the social work practice with older adults and families from a lifespan perspective pathway. She has worked as a medical social worker and is also pursuing her school social work specialization. Born and raised in Michigan, Sarah comes from a large family of 8 and is proudly the middle child. Sarah graduated from University of Michigan Dearborn in December 2021 with a degree in Health and Human Services. She earned a 4.0 GPA, attended school on scholarship, worked multiple jobs, and was awarded with the Dean's Medallion. Growing up in a diverse, close-knit, philanthropy-heavy community inspired Sarah to pursue social work and its impact on communities. Sarah is thrilled to fulfill her goal of earning her MSW where she was honored to be selected as a geriatric scholar. Sarah would like to thank God, her mama and baba, as well as her family and friends for their support and encouragement. Her professors, shout out to Grace, Beth, and Julie Roboto and classmates for sharing their wisdom and experiences. Sarah intends to pursue a career in social work, working with individuals across the lifespan, as well as families in her home community of Dearborn. Please join me in welcoming Sarah to the podium.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. صباح الخير وأهلا بكم. Peace and blessings upon you all. Good morning and welcome, faculty, friends, family, and fellow graduates to the commencement ceremony for the Masters of Social Work class of 2023. When I was nominated to deliver this speech, authenticity was encouraged. So today, I'm standing here before you all, offering an authentic piece of me. I, like many of you in the room, was taught to keep the peace. That is until I realized whose peace I was protecting each time I convinced myself to remain silent. So, in spirit of authenticity, I'd like to invite all of us in this room and those watching from home to take a moment to embark on a reflective journey, one that transcends the boundaries of professional titles and academic achievements. A journey that holds relevance not just for us graduates and social workers, but for our loved ones who took time from their day to gather and celebrate with us today. What I want all of us to explore is the profound power we collectively hold against the system. As social workers, we are committed to dismantling the many isms around us. We tirelessly work to combat racism, sexism, ableism, and all forms of oppression and discrimination, understanding that real change comes from within. But between our pursuit of individual equity and justice, we sometimes underestimate our influence within and even over the system. You don't need a social work degree to understand and accept that this very system, comprised of individuals like you and me, holds immense power over the lives we aim to serve. We often hear the phrase, "It takes a village." And I can't think of a better way to encapsulate our collective experience. Throughout our time here, we've been part of a community that has supported, inspired, and shaped us into the individuals we are today. We all have the potential to be catalysts for systemic transformation. We're not only advocates for change on an individual level, but also stewards of change at a meso and macro level. By challenging the status quo, advocating for just policies, and holding those in power accountable, trust that we can drive systemic change that echoes through our communities. Our community isn't limited to this campus or our classrooms. It's the friendships we've made, the mentors who've guided us, and the families who've stood by our side through thick and thin. I love you, Mama. It's the professors who've imparted knowledge and all of us students who've shared our diverse perspectives. One of the most beautiful aspects of community is its ability to transform not just individuals, but the world around us. We've witnessed this transformation within our close-knit academic community. We've collaborated on projects, too many to count, exchanged ideas, and learned from one another. We've seen the power of collective effort in our shared successes, and yes, even in our challenges. As we transition from this chapter of our lives and step into the real world, scary, I know, I want to emphasize the importance of extending the sense of community beyond these university walls. The world we're entering needs the kind of unity, support, and compassion we've experienced here. It's our ethical duty to ensure so. In our next chapter, whether it be the workforce, further education, or into the unknown, that's where you can find me, we have the opportunity to continue dismantling the many isms around us and continue to foster and nurture communities of our own. Community isn't just about shared experiences, it's about shared values and a shared commitment to making the world a better place. We have the power to amplify that commitment and to multiply its impact as we go out into the world. We are all human. We are all unique. And let's be real, we all just want a chance to feel valued and respected for who we are, and for our differences to be embraced as strengths. Diversity is not a weakness. It's the strength of a people. So I want it to be clear that when I speak about the system, it isn't about us versus them or me versus you. It's about the type of world we all want to live in, which is influenced by the choices we make every day. It's the vision for a better world for all of us, and all it takes is one. One person to care, one person to believe, one commitment to act. So what I'm asking you to do is join me in being that one authentically. As we celebrate our accomplishments here today, let's remember the importance of community. Let's carry the spirit of unity, support, and empathy with us as we embark on our individual journeys. Together, we can make a difference, and together, we can create a brighter future. May your curiosity continue to blossom, and may your thirst for knowledge and growth never go dry. Congratulations to the class of 2023, and thank you to our remarkable communities for shaping us into the graduates we are today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah, for your wonderful contribution to our ceremony today. Now I am pleased to introduce our next student speaker, Larissa Mednes. Larissa is a longtime community organizer and advocate for social justice. She holds a bachelor's degree in sociology and gender studies from the University of Pittsburgh and helped start the nonprofit Pittsburgh Restaurant Workers Aid in response to the intense need among her community in the restaurant industry as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. During her time earning her master's degree in social work, she has served as the organizing co-chair of Payment for Placements, a student organization working to achieve paid internships for all MSW students. In her free time, Larissa enjoys cooking and baking, writing music, and foraging for wild edible mushrooms, which will become important in only a couple of moments. Through her personal education and professional experiences, Larissa has deepened her understanding of community service and stewardship and intends to use these skills in her future career as a social worker. Larissa would like to thank her friends and her family for inspiring and motivating her to always achieve her goals. Please join me in welcoming Larissa to the podium.
All right, good morning, everybody. I have a little visual aid here for you guys. So thank you, Dean Angel, for the introduction. Thank you, everyone, for being here this morning. All right, so imagine you're walking around a forest after a rainstorm and you stumble upon a fresh, glistening mushroom in your path. You might take a picture of it, pick it up, and inspect it. You might even take it home to eat if it's something prized and tasty, like a chanterelle or a morel. What you wouldn't see is the vast underground network of fine threads known as mycelia that uptake and digest nutrients in order to produce the mushroom that sprouts out of the ground. Millions of strands of mycelium live underneath the mushroom, the fruiting body of the fungus that represents just a fraction of the entire organism. Mushrooms must spread their spores to reproduce and expand their mycelial networks. When you walked the same path a week ago, the mycelium was under your feet, decomposing and digesting, waiting for its moment to announce its presence. As humans, we too rely on our networks to understand and digest our thoughts, feelings, and information. On a very basic level, we need each other to survive. We discover solutions and new ideas that could only arise from sharing and collaboration. We too spend countless hours in the process of transfer and exchange before we see change, growth, and expansion. Through our time in the social work program, the importance of building our networks has been continually reinforced. And looking back on the past 16 months, I am thoroughly impressed by how much our class has accomplished and what we stand up for together. Together, we have made a concerted effort to leave this university in a better state than when we arrived here. We have confronted prejudice, bias, and oppressive ideologies in our classrooms. We have advocated for improvements to our field placement work, including payment for our valuable contributions to our field sites. We have expanded on important conversations about unequal systems in the field of social work. And we have participated in a historic and prolific GEO strike that resulted in significant gains for graduate workers, many of whom are among us in this room. Even when we're no longer here experiencing this program, make no mistake that we have made our mark, and it will be felt for years to come. I am a community organizer by training, and over the years, I have learned to approach my relationships with patience and humility. The mycelial network needs time to grow before mushrooms can sprout and reproduce. None of us are in a constant state of action, and we can't expect others to be either. We also need time to grow. The massive rallies, widespread pickets, and press coverage are but a culmination of years of relationship building and strategizing to determine what our communities need and how we'll get it. There are few, if any, images of mycelium in books and websites on fungi. In the same way, you'd be hard-pressed to read a newspaper headline about coffee runs on the way to meetings, late-night phone calls, or the moments my fellow organizers have been there for me in times of crisis. But it is absolutely essential to cultivate these structures if we are to take action and make lasting, positive change. We need each other's strength and inspiration in movement and in rest. Every day, we walk over mycelial networks that are invisible to us, but are necessary to our ecosystems. Every day, we have interactions that may feel insignificant, but they are necessary to our survival. The fungal kingdom contains great power and diversity, as do all of us sitting in this room. Some mycelium is fragile, like that of the matsutake mushroom, which can be destroyed if it is raked or disturbed. Some mycelium is opportunistic, like that of armillaria, which can creep through a forest as it parasitizes hundreds of trees. Lots of mycelium is perennial, like that of morels, and will fruit over many years as long as it can maintain the exchange of nutrients with associated trees. Each of us has our own distinct motivations and strengths that we will use to expand our own mycelial networks. We are graduating from the top social work program in the country at a prestigious university, and our words and actions have influence over our clients and communities. Our education has prepared us well to be responsible and diligent practitioners. When a mushroom fruits, it spreads millions of spores into the air. When we speak and act, we are sending messages to the people around us that have a lasting impact. As we celebrate our accomplishments and move into the next steps of our careers, I implore you to always act with intention. I implore you to cultivate your relationships so that you and your community can achieve resilience. I implore you to take time to rest and recover so you don't burn out all of your energy. I implore you to keep your eyes open to the world around you, whether that means engaging in social action or observing the vastness of a forest. We all have great wisdom and perspective to share with each other, but we also still have so much to learn. Congratulations on graduating with your master's degrees in social work, and thank you for everything that you have taught me.
Thank you, Larissa, for your wonderful message for today's ceremony. I don't know that I can think about walking on the ground in quite the same way ever again. Graduates, this is the moment you've been waiting for. At this time, I would like to present the newest University of Michigan School of Social Work graduating class of winter 2023. We will begin the individual presentation and hooding of our Master of Social Work graduates. And so I would like to now ask the marshals, readers, hooders, and alumni board representative to take their places as we begin the presentation of the graduates. Graduates, as you cross the stage, please join me for a photo on that side, and then you'll be greeted by our School of Social Work Alumni Board representative, Lauren Davis. Now, we also have a few graduates who are celebrating with us online today, and their photos will be shown on the screen as their names are read.
Sarah El-Mukhtar. Larissa Mednis. Heather Surratt. Ellie Ahern. Charisma Ayala. Mary Azar. Erica Barker. Kayara Barker. Alexandria Hope Bateman. Kendall Bowen. Athena Breyer. Stephanie Elizabeth Burgers. Caitlin Campbell. Lenny Carpentier McLean. Isabella Cavutayo. Mei Yen Chen. Kara Coleo. Christopher Cooling. Justice Cook. Kaylina Crafton. Courtney DeLongchamp. Haley Devitt. Sreyashi Day. Carolyn Dipple. Brian Donovan. Layla Duncan. Haven Essien. Carly Dunn. Yadira Estrada. Carly Evitz. Janera Fields. Andrew Finkbeiner. Scott Fletcher. Haley Fox. Catherine Furtaw. Juan Carlos Garcia. Seth Gilbert. Sharon Gittins. Lydia Marie Goff. Rachel Goldner. Sierra Gorton. Laurel Hammis. Kelly Ann Hammond. Sarah Ann Hebert Johnson. Jade Tiana Herbert. Graham Hewson. Joyce Ho. Kara Hollingsworth. Margaret Hopp. Shawnee Horn. Taylor Ignacek. Ellery Quinn Irish. Kayla Nicole Jablonski. Caitlin Jacobs. Haley Jaffe. Teresa Johnson. Juliana Kammerzel. Jialing Gao. Go ahead. Ashley Kay. Haiba Khatib. Al Kleinhuxel. Hannah Grace Klein. Kelsey Kraft. Joyce Lee. Lexi Lee. You ready? Clancy Layball.
Makaya Lynn Lewis. Sabrina Lutzen. Abigail McKay. Annie McGuire. Carolyn Elise Margulies. Katerina Marco. Valerie Martinez. Vinay Matthews. Madeline Meyer. Andrew Maynard. Sarah Elizabeth Mazra. Lisa Mendel. Chelsea Mueller. Caitlin Ray Murphy. Linda Chiaka Nkimera. Juno Elsa Atenthingo. Anna Patton. Diamond Perdue. Vanessa Perez. Jocelyn Peters. Alexa Ray Peterson. Jace Plattenberg. Savannah Pohl. Jenna Elizabeth Quinn. Natalie Quinn. Tabitha Reynolds. June Adora Rayburn. Keely Rhiannon. John Ristow. Brianna Rivera Kloppel. Brendan Roberts. Lauren Roberts. Zoe Rosen. Kara Rossi. Caitlin Rouse. Katie Sahlberg. McKenna Shearer. Caitlin Schultz. Janika Schott. Kaja Elise C. Kelly Sexton. Kimberly Sidlauskas. Hannah Evelyn Marie Silva. Dylan Smith. Jennifer Claire Smith. Carly Somo. Isaac Sorensen. Nikki Stevens. Beth Stephen. Valerie Tang. Emily Tenniswood. Courtney Todd. Matthew Tomsichek. Dylan van Veek. Hannah Van Schaik. Zoe Vettner. Adelaide Ward. Tess Ward. Violet Way. Vester Waters. Micaiah Webb. Hannah Weisler. Mykesha Nicole Wells. Emily Marie West. George Whiteley IV. Danielle Winslow. Lauren Wolchin. Natalie Wojcik. Kawan Ting Wu. Gita Zayan Usef. And now we will present the MSW graduates attending remotely. Linus Chun. Taina Collazo. Kate Dolores. Katura Horner. Shaylin McKinnon. Reagan Polkowski. And Brendan Sidivey.
Okay. I now invite the MSW Winter Class of 2023 to please stand. On behalf of the University of Michigan Board of Regents, I confer upon you the Master of Social Work degree. 2023 graduates, please move your tassels from the right to the left as a symbolic gesture that you are now alumni of the University of Michigan. Please be seated. Not much stands between you now and your celebration, but just a couple of minutes. Graduates, please remember that graduation does not mark the end of your time with the University of Michigan School of Social Work. As alumni, we hope you stay connected and engaged through the numerous social and professional opportunities offered by the school's Office of Development and Alumni Relations. Today, you become one of the many impressive graduates of our program. At this time, I'd like to invite all School of Social Work alumni in the audience today to stand and be recognized for the amazing contributions they have made to our profession. And now, graduates, this is something very important. It is your turn to thank your family and your friends, those who stood by and supported you as you achieved your educational goals. Families and friends' support and encouragement make the great accomplishments of our students possible. I would now like to invite our family members and friends in attendance to stand and be recognized. And finally, a great ceremony like this does not come together without the help of many faculty, students, and staff. Please join me in a round of applause for today's organizers. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the school, I would like to thank everyone for attending and extend congratulations from the University of Michigan School of Social Work to our graduates. Please join us for a reception in honor of our graduates in the lower level of the School of Social Work building following commencement. We ask that guests remain seated until the recessional march of the platform party and the graduates has been completed. Feel free to join us in singing Hail to the Victors as we close today's ceremony. Please have a safe trip home after the reception and enjoy this special day. And finally, go blue!